Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it's so lovely to see you today. In today's video we are going to be doing a review of this witchcraft book, Witches Among Us by Thorn Mooney, Understanding Contemporary Witchcraft and Wicca. So grab that cup of tea, let's get to it. Now, before we start, I do, as always, have to say that this book was not sent to me. The author, the publishers, nobody, they don't know I exist. Basically, this was not gifted to me. It's not sponsored content. I bought the book with my own money. So with that said, if you do enjoy these book reviews, do consider heading down below to the links in the pinned comment to Ko-fi and Patreon. Both platforms really help me to be able to afford to buy books. So you're kind of funding my addiction, but that's okay. It's okay. Don't feel bad about it. I feel pretty good about my witchcraft book collection, although my husband may have other things to say. Anyway, let's find my notes app on my phone. Let's get to it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the book itself. It's very light. It's easy to open, easy to read. It's not painful for your hands or anything like that. The text is reasonably small. So if you do have sight issues, consider maybe getting it on an electrical, like Kindle or something like that. You can get the Kindle app for free, but other reading type platforms I'm sure are available. The book is really nice to read. It didn't give me hand pain. I didn't struggle too much with it. I will say as well that though it is small writing, I didn't struggle with it as much as I normally do when I was tired. So I was very thankful for that. It may be the font that was chosen, who knows. The author themselves is Wiccan, and there is a lot of talk about Wicca here in this book. However, the point of the book is not to talk about Wicca, it's to talk about witchcraft in general. So it's not the only thing that this book is about. I know there are a lot of Wicca books out a while back and people have kind of moved away from that religion, but people are still practicing it, and I think it's important that we do still have books about that faith. It is good to read about other religions, other faiths, other cultures. That being said, the book is not primarily about that. It is about so many things, and it's a small book, but there's so much information in here. And I was really impressed with the amount of information that I got out of this book. I also really liked that at the end of each chapter, let me just find the end of a chapter here, there is suggested reading. Now, the author is a lecturer in a university. So they have scholarly texts that you can read, and they also have just witchcraft texts. I thought that was really good. There are a lot of witches out there who are very scholarly, who have PhDs and all sorts of amazing things and very intelligent, and they want to deep dive into these scholarly texts. So it was really nice to see that that option was there for those witches. I myself am not very scholarly, which is why at some points I did struggle with the language used. But you have to remember, this is somebody who lectures at a university and probably has a doctorate or something. I don't know what qualifications Thorn Mooney has, but you know, they're going to write a little bit differently than just a witch who's writing about something that they're passionate about. This is not, however, a scholarly book. By that I mean it is aimed at the everyday witch as well as scholars. So it does hit both sides really, really well. I enjoyed the text. I enjoyed reading about it, and I love the amount of, you know, when they add a little bit to the bottom. Oh, I've just found one. You see where they add like a little thing at the bottom for further reading? I really enjoy that. I don't always look up the extra reading, but if there's something that catches my eye or catches my attention, I do want to know where they got that information from. So it was quite interesting to read that, and because Thorn Mooney, I mean, most of you probably know her from social media. I don't think she's doing social media anymore. She has done more YouTube videos, but Instagram and all that, I think she's stepped away from what I can gather from her recent vlogs. But I can't remember what I was talking about. Anyway, let's move on. Oh dear, it's one of those days, guys. It's one of those days. What I really got out of this book is how much modern witchcraft is really guided by, influenced by so many different types of witchcraft. It's like we've kind of taken a little bit of each and kept it and turned it into what modern witchcraft is. And I really loved learning about the different societies and different types of witchcraft that were around. I think they were mainly talking about like the Edwardian, Victorian kind of eras, it was boom time for people interested in seances and spirit communication because so many family members were passing away. And we see a lot of this influence in modern witchcraft. I just loved learning about that and the different societies and the different beliefs that lead us to where we are today, because modern witchcraft is very different to traditional witchcraft. And I think it's important that we do remember that. We don't try and act like we're making things like they did back in the day. You know, we are modern witches, and it's okay to use your phone to do a spell and to enchant your computer, as I have done both in my time. You know, it's important to remember that we're in modern times, and that's okay. So I really enjoyed just looking back at the past and the things that have brought us to where we are today. I also really got a lot out of the chapters that were talking about bringing your witchcraft into the mundane, and how many of us just live as witches in every day and everything. We don't just, oh, I have witchcraft in the morning in this situation, but I don't do it any other time. Witches, we tend to just sprinkle magic throughout the mundane. And I really loved that. I really loved that side of it being talked about, because it's so important to remember that we walk this craft all the time. We want to enchant our paint, we want to put a spell on our cup of tea or create something to help us when we've got a cold. This is the way we live. It's a practice, it's a daily way of life. It's not just we do it here and we don't do it there. So I thought that was really lovely. There was a lot of talk about different ways of practicing witchcraft, but it wasn't worldwide. I wish there was more about how witches practice in other cultures. Like, I would love to know how people in India practice their witchcraft, or Aboriginal witches, or, you know, other cultures were kind of included more. It felt very white centric and very American centric, which, you know, I mean, Thorn Mooney is a white American, but I still wish there was a little bit more about different cultures, you know, open it up a little bit, do some research, speak to other witches in other continents and cultures, and get them to do a little bit in a chapter or something. I don't know how you would do it, but I just wish it was more worldwide, you know. And I do feel that if I was a witch, say for example an Aboriginal witch or a witch in Africa, would I feel as included with all this witchcraft media that's out there, like YouTube videos and books and all this kind of thing? Would I feel as included? And I do feel like I wouldn't. That's a general talk about, you know, these witch influencers that are out there. I am not an influencer, I'm just a witch sharing my journey. But a lot of these witch influencers, authors, etc. tend to be white and American, or white and English. I would love to learn a bit more about different cultures. There is an amazing witch on here who I absolutely love, and I want to give them a shout out right now, and I will link to them down below, called Juju Time. And they do these videos where they will read out an African folk tale. And listening to her voice is just so beautiful. She brings the text alive, but then she talks about how that story affected them and what that story means to them. And I love those videos. I live for it. I'm an omnist. I'm somebody who loves learning from other cultures, other people in the world. I always loved hearing folk tales from around the world. And so I just wish there was more of that. Go and check out Juju Time. Their channel is incredible. Their folk tale stories are just perfection. Anyway, back to the book. I don't think it detracts from the book. I think the book is really, really good at explaining what modern witchcraft in the West is like, and how we use social media and the mundane for our magical practice, and the reality of witchcraft. That it's not evil, it's not about the devil, because a lot of us don't even believe in the devil. And a lot of it is just taking nature and taking the things around us and using it for faith and using it for a connection to source. The book does a really good job of that. I just wish it was a bit more worldwide. If you've read this book, let me know what you think on that fact, and whether you think there should be more talk of that in books and YouTube videos. Let me know. Overall, if I'm going to recommend this book to anyone, it would be somebody new to the practice, completely shiny, brand new, doesn't know anything about what actual witchcraft is, like how you actually do it, what it actually means to say I'm a witch, what those words actually mean. I would also recommend it to anybody who has family members who don't really understand. You know, like you're starting to come out the broom closet, you're starting to explain to parents and friends, I'm a witch. Recommending this book would be an amazing first start. It's a very small book. It's not like you're expecting them to read a huge reference book, and so I think it's really good book for that sort of circumstance. However, I wouldn't say that in order to be a practicing witch you need to read this book. I wouldn't say somebody who's been practicing for years like I have needs to read this book, although it's a very interesting and a very good read. I did enjoy it, and I got through it pretty quick because it's quite a small book and it's easy to read. I could just pick it up, throw it in my bag, you know, read it on the go. But I wouldn't say that you necessarily need it. However, if you are somebody who just enjoys watching my videos because you like me, and you're not a practicing witch, I do see a lot of people saying, well, I don't practice witchcraft, but I enjoy watching your videos. Maybe give this a read, because you would understand even deeper what witchcraft and what witches are. But you don't necessarily need it in order to be a practicing witch. It just helps with understanding the history, how we got here, and how modern witchcraft works. That kind of thing. So it depends why you want to read the book. If you're just a huge fan of Thorn Mooney like I am, and I have been for a long time, like I love her books, I love her videos, I love you know, her Instagram and everything. If you just love Thorn Mooney, go and get it, give it a read, you'll enjoy it. And yeah, maybe buy it for a family member for Christmas, or for a little present. Maybe if you're in like a book club or something, it could be nice to read just to understand a different religion. It's quite a good book. 2 thumbs up. So you may be asking me, Beverley, and I would say yes. And you would say, Beverley, what are we going to read next? And I would say Pisces Witch. Now, it's my birthday in a couple of weeks. I am a Pisces. You could probably tell without me even telling you that, because I'm a big softie. But Pisces Witch, I've had this for a bit. So this is from Llewellyn, I believe. Is it Llewellyn? Yes, it's Llewellyn. And they're bringing out one book for each of the signs, you know. What's the word? Star signs. Is that the word, Lee? Do I mean star signs? Zodiac signs! Brain switched on in the end. There you go. Yeah, they are bringing out a book for each of them. I've only bought Pisces Witch because I'm a Pisces. And this is Witchcraft to Celebrate Your Intuitive and Compassionate Self. Unlock the Magic of Your Sun Sign, Pisces Witch, Swimming in the Starry Seas by Ivo Dominguez Jr. and Matt Orin. Now, I have recently done a video about Matt Orin's book that came out. I'll leave a link to that down below. Matt Orin has quickly become one of my favourite authors in the witchcraft community. So I'm really excited to read about Pisces Witch and what it's all about. and it just seemed perfect time to read it coming up to my birthday. So I'm really, really excited. My birthday is the 16th of March. Should you wish to wish me happy birthday, you don't have to now. But yeah, I thought this would be really fun to read. So if you are also a Pisces witch, you can grab this book, and I will leave, as always, links to the authors, links to information about the books on Goodreads. I'll leave a link to my profile on Goodreads if you want to follow me or friend me on there. So yeah, let me know. Have you read these books? Are you going to read these books? I would love to know all your thoughts and feelings. Do you think I gave a fair analysis or not? I would love to know, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Overall, I'm really excited to read Pisces Witch, and I really did enjoy this book. I thought it was so good. There weren't many places where I could bookmark or quotes that really stood out, because it's more of a read to help yourself understand the subject rather than learning things like bookmarking spells or spectacular things. I think it'll be different in this one. I think I'm going to get a lot out of this, and just how to connect more with my Pisces-ness in a healthy way, because being a Pisces witch can be hard, because we're very, very sensitive little beings, and things make us cry that shouldn't make us cry. We get upset easily. So I'm really excited to learn how to connect more with my Pisces witchiness. I'm waffling now, don't feel well today, but that's all right. My fellow witches, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a cheeky little like, leave it a comment, subscribe, all those wonderful magical free things that really do help me to know, and the YouTubeverse to know, that you enjoyed it, and it will spread it out just that little bit more. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful magical week, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!